Greetings and much love to every single one of you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Yes, it may not sound as beautiful as it used to be, but it is still beautiful because where we are coming from and where we are going to is beautiful. And today we want to discuss the oneness, the togetherness, the connection, and the adjustments that we need to make to come back to it. You see, we can get disconnected from all the goodness if we allow it to happen. It is our responsibility, each one of us, to learn how to reconnect, just like a computer. You know, when you're offline, when you're not connected to the internet, you cannot do much. You cannot be in touch with anyone. But once you reconnect, everything is possible. And you need to know how to reconnect. And this is the topic of our conversation: connection, reconnection. I'm Dr. Daniel Sadiq. I'm a clinical psychologist, marriage and family therapist, clinical director at the Wheel of Wellbeing, author of Balancing the Wheel. You see, everything that I discuss is about balance. It is about how we can come back to that connection. Balance is where we can be connected in a frequency that is adequate for life. It is not too high, it is not too low. What would be the difference? The difference is that when we are connecting too strongly or too powerfully, well, there is going to be some kind of a contact, some kind of a interference with the way that we can connect. And if we're connecting too low, the connection is not going to be possible. So the balance is really about how we can connect with our lives. In another way, as individuals, we are this indivisible duality between life and death. How so? Because as we're breathing, as we're alive, as we come from that oneness, then we are connected in that frequency. But the moment that our connection is disconnected, we die. Okay? Imagine if you're alive and then you're disconnected. It feels like you're dead. I want to play a video for you. It is a narration of one of Rumi's poems by Coleman Banks. I really love this video because the translation of the poem is very true to its origin, and I want to talk about the connection that Rumi has discussed 1,000 or 1,200 years ago. So let's take a look at this video, see what the message is, how Rumi is seeing this kind of connection, how life and death, being or not being, is in this format of looking at life.
Not Christian or Jew or Muslim, not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi, or Zen, not any religion or cultural system. I am not from the East or the West, not out of the ocean or or up from the ground. Not natural or ethereal. Not composed of elements at all. I do not exist. Am not an entity in this world or the next. Did not descend from Adam and Eve or any origin story. My place is the placeless, a trace of the traceless, neither body or soul. I belong to the beloved, have seen the two worlds as one, and that one called to and know. First, last, outer, inner, only that breath, breathing, human being.
Well, I hope you like this video as much as I do like it. And the reason I like it is, in a way, it's talking about how we limit ourselves by religion, by culture, by race, by gender, and how without any of these barriers that separate us, we're one. And this oneness is being with the beloved, is being the two words together. How in this life, where we have so many obstacles on our way, we can understand that oneness, because we can easily forget. When is my benefit versus your benefit? When is my health versus your health? When it is my requirements for my comfort and happiness going against yours? How are we going to be one? And that's what's been happening to us. And I'm hoping that through this difficult time, one thing that is coming to the surface is more of that oneness, being there for each other, caring for each other, feeling being one. You know, it's always been like that, and it always will be, because in reality, we all come from one cell. The essence of our being, the essence of our lives is all the same. However you want to look at it, going back to a Big Bang theory, or coming to evolution, and how from one cell in the bottom of the oceans we've come to be the magnificent human beings that we are, with all the knowledge, with all the capabilities, with all the abilities to create, to be a creator. How each one of us have still the same oneness inside of us, which is mighty and powerful, which is all compassionate, loving, and caring. Once we allow the difficulties of ego, the difficulties that our selfishness creates for us. And that's understandable too. You know, we are all survival-based beings, because through evolution, the survival of the fittest has got us to where we are. So it somehow logically makes sense that we need to protect ourselves, we need to just be an advocate for ourselves, and we're not denying that. But is it possible to have both of these words together? The words of being, which is truth and divine values, to who we are as human beings with our human needs, with our requirements for sustaining our lives in the best way that we can? Can they coexist? I would suggest that yes, it does. Because when you come from your heart's still in your body. Your heart is where you feel. And these feelings, when they're ignored, we get away from that truth that's inside of us. In psychology, feelings have such an important value in my work, at least, because that is the way that we can find where we are at this moment, at now. So if right now you feel worried, anxious, sad, disconnected, hopeless, powerless, so these are the feelings that show where you are. And when your mind is connecting to your heart, the satellite is connecting to your location, you will figure out, okay, how can I change this situation? How can I make this adjustment? How can I move away from the feelings that are low and they're diminishing me towards death and dying? And in the opposite side, how can I raise my vibration? How can I bring up this frequency of life and being to a way that I'm connected with more souls, with more beings, with more power of life and love? It sounds nice. Can we do it? I say yes, we do. Okay? We just need to go back to our heart and feel our feelings. Feel how this is going on right now for you. Okay? Yes. For me personally, it feels very sad at sometimes. I just lost a dear uncle yesterday to this virus, which is unbearable and unbelievable. But it is the reality of life. We come and go. And the only thing that we can do is to hope for days that are being more pleasant, more beautiful. And the connection that we feel is going to make the difference. You know, as soon as my friends, people who know me, heard about my pain and suffering, hundreds of people had contacted me and joined me in showing their love, respect, being there with me. And this is the value of life that we can all share. I want to suggest that these values don't have to only be shared when we are desperate and sad and hopeless. We can share these feelings when we're happy, when we're content, when we are feeling good, when we are feeling jolly. Often enough, we're afraid of saying how happy we are. Okay? You know, I can say that I'm still very happy amid all of the pains because I still have a lifestyle that I have created for myself and for people around me. I still connect within that lifestyle to people that are doing the same thing, that are looking forward to this positivity and connection. So you can only connect with people who want to connect. You can hardly connect with people who want to disconnect. What happens? If you want to connect with people who want to disconnect, you're just using energy, using power that is not going to get you something. I'm not saying that quit loving and caring for them. Yes, we can still love them and care for them, even if they don't want to be connected with us. But we can respect their boundaries. We can respect where they are and hope for them that they can find that love and divinity and truth inside of them and they can connect with that. It's going without any doubt in my mind that once we are connecting to the source, which is that divinity and oneness, goodness, kindness, being there for each other, the energy that we receive back from the same source is going to be magnified because now we're in alignment. And alignment is another word for balance. You know, in my book, Balancing the Wheel, I talk so much about this alignment and all of these 8 areas of physical, mental, emotional, relational, recreational, spiritual, and financial. I forgot environmental, which is very important also. All of these areas need to be connected with each other. And we come from that alignment with each and every one of them that we can have a full alignment. I suggest knowing yourself a little bit deeper, understanding yourself a little bit better, and being in the present time, being in the now. Because it is in the now that you know where you are. Where you're going to be in 10 hours from now, it's really unknown. We plan it in that way that we want to be somewhere in 10 hours. But then there are so many things that can happen between now and 10 hours from now that maybe that's not going to be possible or even in our best interest. So we need to make that adjustment. Or we cannot live in the past, because the moment that we go to the past, we're limited to the events that happened in the past. And the conclusions that we made can help us today at this moment. But reliving those memories and staying with those situations and conditions in our minds is going to be something that's going to cut us off from the connectedness. It's a fine line. Being present is a fine line. And breathing, as I've been saying it in every time that we connect with each other, is our source of sustaining this connection. As lively beings, without oxygen, we cannot continue life in this form. Yes, after we die, we don't know exactly what happens. So when we connect to ourselves through the breathing, then we have more possibilities for figuring out where we are and how we feel. The breathing connects us to the now. In this video that you watched, if you look at it one more time and you replay this, which is going to be available on togethernessmedia.com, you're going to see how at the end it finishes with breath. We are only a breath. And in this breath, we connect the dualities of life and death, and we become alive. So I suggest keeping your lungs open as it goes against this damn virus that is affecting us and limiting us to isolation. And from your every breath, figure out where you are and come back to create a better life for yourself and the world around you. This is our power. Let's go to a soothing music and we come back with a few more words and finish our conversation. Yes, we can all struggle with the duality of being and not being. In Farsi, which is my mother tongue, is hasti و نیستی, بودن و نبودن. being or not being. And Shakespeare has said it the best. Our struggles are staying alive, yet our joy is utilizing this life when we are in a way that we connect with love and compassion. The love that we have inherited inside of us, it's something that can get us beyond any difficulty, beyond any problem that the physical world creates. The physical world manifests are survival based. However, it is our ego, is the way that we see ourselves. It's the child inside of us that is frantically trying to survive rather than enjoy. So when we come from that survival brain, which is our midbrain or the limbic system, this survival brain has only one function, which is fight or flight. It is getting ahead in a situation by escaping it or attacking it. And sometimes we just stuck, we are in between flight and fight, and then we really are not even able to move beyond where we're stuck. And that happens a lot to us. We get stuck in a lot of situations. Even if we move away from that situation, the memories of that situation, the experiences that we have stay with us. I have no doubt that this coronavirus, the COVID-19, is going to impact us as we go on about our lives even later, because a lot of memories are created out of this fearful situation. A lot of negative experiences have shaped as the result of this disconnection with life and this social isolation that we all suffer. That's going to be something that we all need to work on and clean up and let go at some point. We have experiences from it, and let's hope that we use the experiences that are positive from this. The fact that how close we are with each other. The other day I got an invitation to a Facebook group that, shows people coming out of their windows by the pictures that they're sending. So everyone in the world is sharing those pictures from their windows, from their social isolations, from their point of views and perspectives. And we are seeing each other in a different way, regardless of where we are, regardless of who we are, how old we are, how rich we are. So there is a lot that we can still gain out of this negative situation, and it's up to each one of us how in the future we utilize the positive and we try to let go of the negative, clean it up from our system, and not letting the trauma of this situation linger in our lives and make the rest of our lives miserable. The ego or the inner child is trying to protect us in a childish or animalistic way. And that is not what our prefrontal cortex, which is the server, the computer that really connects everything, the inner and the outer and the dualities of the whole life together. It's the server that we need to be using, and that requires more learning, understanding through the work that we do. Wheel of Wellbeing is an organization that my wife, Coach Bonnie, and myself created a good 12, 13 years ago. And the purpose of this organization has been creating more balance, harmony, alignment in life. And we're really happy to share everything that we know, we have learned, we have acquired with you, and together we build a community that is striving for success, happiness, and health. If you like to join this group, it's called the Wheel Select, and you can go to wheelofwellbeing.com. There is a test, there is a wheel test that you can take, and this wheel test shows you in what areas you want to pay more attention to your connection to yourself and to the outside world, and figure out how aligned you are with goodness, with truth that is inside of you. I heartfully suggest that you take a look, you visit wheelofwellbeing.com, and you take that wheel test, which eventually leads you to the wheel select, and that's a choice that you have if you would like to receive more of our materials, online classes, courses. This is what we're hoping to achieve out of this situation, to be in connection with you in more profound ways, to have our hearts connected to your hearts through our communication and the community that we're creating. We're creating the Wheel Select community, and we look forward to have you in this community, and we can together, with the help of Togetherness Media, put this in perspective and create a life that is better for everyone who lives in it. Love, compassion, mercy, togetherness, they're all the messages that I have for you, and I will have for you every time that you tune in to this program. I'll be with you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10:30 a.m. We are going to rebroadcast this program from Facebook, Instagram, my own social media website. We're going to have these programs archived for you eventually, and you're more than welcome to be with us anytime you wish. Our joy is connection with you. We are only meaningful in connection with you. If you're not there, everything I say, everything I want to connect with is going to be in vain. I only have meaning when I'm connected to all of you. We all have the same situation. We are only meaningful in connection. Let's keep connected, and I'll see you soon again. Have a blessed day.